How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about our 1970 Mercury Cyclone GT. This is a vehicle I bought from a customer out of Wisconsin. It was a gentleman. He told me he had the car for a while, and he's actually the one that did a lot of the mechanical work to it. We have a Marty report. We also have a reproduction invoice for it. You can check all that stuff out at my website, pcclassiccars.com. If you go to this vehicle, scroll underneath the photos, you'll see the virtual description link, which is what you're watching. You'll also see the test drive video of me personally driving the vehicle. And then below that, you'll see my additional infos tab. That'll have the Marty report, the reproduction invoice, a bunch of extra photos of some imperfections, along with my Does It Work section. All of that stuff will be in there. So good pertinent information in that additional infos tab I suggest you guys take a look at. The mechanicals on this particular Cyclone, it does have a date code correct, most likely the original M code 351 Cleveland. This is an M code car. The motor runs great. The customer I bought it from told me that he had the motor completely rebuilt. It definitely feels like it's been rebuilt, but unfortunately I didn't get any paperwork to 100% prove that. But again, mechanically, it feels real spot on. So I definitely believe what the previous owner is telling me there. Backed by an FMX 3-speed automatic transmission, I always found that to be an interesting thing that behind the M codes and a lot of the other motors in these Fords and Mercuries, that they would put an FMX transmission behind kind of a higher horsepower setup like the 351 Cleveland, at least especially the 4-barrel setup. But again, nothing wrong with an FMX. I just always prefer a C6. But this transmission, it shifts great. This is what this car would have come with. So it is an FMX 3-speed automatic that's in the car. You do have your standard equipment like power steering, power front disc brakes, and this one is optioned with AC. All of the components look newer, but unfortunately the AC is not functioning properly. We'll dive into that here a little bit later into the virtual description. We'll talk about what I think is wrong with the AC. On your exhaust system, it retains an original style set of manifolds. Newer dual exhaust. The mufflers are a stock style muffler, so they're not too terribly loud. And then you do have a full tailpipe. Excuse me. You'll see on my test drive video. Make sure you guys go check that out. The test drive video, you'll see me driving the vehicle going down the road, and you'll be able to hear the exhaust. So refer back to that test drive video, and you guys can see the car going down the road, and you'll hear the exhaust as well. On my Does It Work section, again, diving back into the AC here a little bit, everything looks newer. The little bit of diagnosis that we did on the car for the AC is the compressor relief valve. The compressor relief valve is leaking, which itself is causing the compressor to not engage. So you'll have to work on that. It very well could have further diagnostics that it's going to need, but that's where I would start. All the parts, all the pieces, the compressor, all that stuff does look newer. But again, something is going wrong with that relief valve. So that's where I would start if I was going to repair the AC. The heat does work, but it's only blown from the defrost. And it gets warm. It's not 100% hot. So again, with the heat and AC, there's a little bit of work to do there. But everything is there. So some diagnostic work to do for the heat and AC for sure. The rim blow steering wheel does work, but you have to get it in the right spots where you squeeze it with your fingers to get it to completely engage. A real common problem with rim blow steering wheels, sometimes if you push those spots, they won't work. And then you push it again another time, that'll start working. I have got the horn to work. You just have to grab the steering wheel in the right spot and engage the rim blow to get it to actually make the horn make some sound. The other items that are not working, the reverse lights, they're not coming on. The dash lights aren't coming on. And then your dash clock and your washer sprayer fluids. So all very kind of minor stuff. Probably an afternoon's worth of work to get those items working. A little bit, probably more work to get the AC to work properly. Take a look at my Does It Work section. It's posted in a number of places. It'll usually be the second to last or the last photo on all of my advertisements. Scroll all the way through the photos. You'll see it there towards the end. Or if you go back to that additional infos tab I was talking about before, the Does It Work section will be posted in there, so it'll have a list of things that work and do not work on the car. During my pre-inspection checklist on this particular Cyclone, it's got a very small couple little drips, a little drip from the differential, the power steering pump, along with the transmission pan. Again, all probably from stuff that's from the vehicle just not being regularly driven. Any of these old cars, I got 100 of them sitting here at my shop. 90 of them at any given point develop a little drip if you're not driving them regularly. Minor little drips are not something that I ever go repair. Obviously, if you come out to your car in the morning and you have a huge puddle, then you're going to want to address those leaks. But right now, I would just classify this as just kind of a normal classic car, little drip here or there. The Cyclone, the underneath, the rear leaf spring bushings, also the sway bar bracket bushings do have a little bit of cracking on the bushing itself. Nothing that needs to be replaced, and it's within spec. It works well. Just some little disclaimers there that some of the bushings do have some light cracking in them. On the exterior, it is a factory code T. That is the code for red on a Cyclone GT for this year. Paint quality's nice. It's a good straight car. Has a little bit of solvent pop in some miscellaneous places, some little touch-ups, some other smaller imperfections. You have to really get it in the right light to see the flaws. I'm guessing the paint is a little bit older, probably somewhere within the 10 to 15 year range. When I give you all those my estimations, I'm just kind of guessing because I don't have any paperwork or receipts for the paint. But doing this for as long as we've been doing this, you kind of can judge when one looks like a little bit of an older paint job. Not saying I'm an expert on that. I very well could be wrong. It could have been painted 20 years ago, but it still presents well. It does have some smaller flaws. Take a look at the additional infos tab. But I have really good photos in there that'll show you what I'm talking about. 15-inch Magnum wheels, good tires. Wheels and tires front and back are nice, so no issues with that. And I personally think the Cyclone GT is a unique and a cool-looking car. If you follow my videos, you know I'm a Torino guy. As you can see, oh, right there, that's my Torino. That's a hand painting of my Torino, so I have one hanging on my wall. So I love this kind of body style. I love the big body Fords and the Mercurys. So definitely a cool-looking car for sure. I love the red with the black. I think the front end on the Cyclones is a really cool and unique look. Interior, originally this was a red houndstooth interior. Now it's kind of a black houndstooth or a black comfort weave style bucket seats. I don't know when that was done. To me, if someone pulled up in this car and said, hey, this is the original interior of my car, I would believe that most of it is. So when the change was done from the burgundy or the red to the black, I don't know. They could have pulled the seats and the interior out of another car at some point and put it in this one, or they replaced it a long time ago because it does look like a factory or an original style interior. Nothing is super fresh outside of the carpet and the mats. That stuff looks a little bit newer. The dash has a small repair spot right kind of in the center of the dash, right to the left of those gauges that's on the passenger side, like right in the middle of the dash is like a repair spot there. I have a good photo of that posted as well. Overall, a good clean interior, just not a freshly restored interior. Underneath is super nice. The floors, the frame rails, the drop downs, all of the metal on the car is extremely nice and extremely solid. There's only one spot that I found that had a little repair on the lower corner on the passenger side, right below the battery on the radiator support at the very bottom. There's like a little patch done right there. My guess is that some acid from the battery corroded it at some point, made a little hole on the bottom of the radiator support, and instead of replacing the entire radiator support, they cut that out and put like a little patch there. I have a photo of that posted as well. Very, very minuscule, nitpicky stuff there, but the rest of the underneath is spot on and very, very clean. Engine bay, highly detailed. Attention to detail was definitely taken when they were doing the engine bay. Probably the nicest aspect of the car when it comes to cosmetically. The engine bay is, again, very highly detailed and it shows awesome. There's nothing for me to complain about in there. It shows great. My overall feel, it's a really cool Mercury Cyclone. It's not something that I regularly get here at my shop. I do get a lot of Torinos. I do get a lot of the big body Fords. When I saw this car for sale, talked to the gentleman, had it for a while, I had no problem bringing it into my shop just because it's a unique car and you just don't see Cyclones very often. The red with the black interior is cool. It is a column shift car. That's unique. Usually they're going to be buckets and console with a floor shifter on the floor or a 4-speed, but the column shift is cool, having the factory AC. And again, it's just a unique and a cool car. You're probably going to be the only one that's going to roll up to one of your local car shows with it, or maybe one other one that you'll see there. So just a cool, unique car. It drives great, cruises down the road at 70 miles an hour. Take a look at the test drive video. You'll see all that good stuff of me driving it. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know what y'all want to see directly. Make sure you check out, again, the test drive video along with the additional infos tab, both posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. And we will see you guys on the next virtual description. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.